Welcome back to college. Let me know if you guys can see me. It actually looks like I might be black on the screen. I'm wearing a Berkeley hoodie though. And yeah, you guys, seriously, let me know if you can see me. Today, I want to talk to you about some realities of being a college advisor. I've shared with you guys that that was my sort of path, what my 9 to 5 job was out of college, thinking this was the dream job. I'm going to help students just set goals and live their dream. And I didn't end up being that way. But there was a lot of other lessons that happened in that role that I want to share with you guys today, and how it relates to me becoming a digital nomad. So many of you guys have been seeing this or sensing this. My partner and I are leaving the San Francisco Bay Area very soon. And so today I'm representing Berkeley. Go Bears with my college apparel. So let's start out, first of all, with going back in time a little bit. And for those of you who haven't gone to college, you might be able to relate to this experience anyway. I remember in the 8th grade, we were doing whisk careers. And for all of my Wisconsin friends, you know that's like the Wisconsin career program that you do in middle school. And the career program that I remember, the pieces that I took away, maybe there was more happening, but loud and clear, I received the message that you need to start now setting an educational plan for yourself that's going to get you into these jobs. And there were forecasts for the development in your field, you know, how many jobs are supposed to be available in 10 years when you're going to be applying. And most importantly, how much money you could earn doing that job. So I literally have such a clear vision of sitting in my 8th grade history class and being handed a graph. And that graph had job titles on the left side, and it had bars for salary. And it started at the top, really high salary, and it kept getting smaller and smaller. And at the top was finance, engineering, medicine. And I kept taking my finger down, down, down to like anything that sounded remotely interesting to me. And psychologist was doing pretty good on that curve. So I remember in 8th grade thinking, I'm going to study psychology because it will earn me enough money and there's going to be jobs. Okay. That was all I was thinking, even in 8th grade. So in high school, I took humanities classes, I took accelerated psychology, and yes, of course, you guys know, I did the right thing and got a psychology degree. I did not become a psychologist, though, okay? Something my 8th grade self did not consider because, oh, well, if you want to be in that rank of psychology, you need to take more school and put 5 more years of your life into this thing. So that's going to cost you about, twice as much as your annual income. But don't forget about all of the loans that are going to add up, the interest that's going to add up, So yeah, if you want to get to that psychology rank you saw in 8th grade, you're going to be 30 by the time you even think about like having that much money coming to you. Okay, well, I was not ready to go back to grad school, reinvest in all of that, because I was also thinking, I want to make a difference in people's lives. Like, I don't want to just do research or compute hard math problems, right? Like, all these things that I saw earning a lot of money weren't in the fields that I really wanted to be in. Helping people, thinking about emotions and intelligence, worrying about like mindfulness, like those things just weren't at the top of the list. So, all right, let's go down to a state service job. The 8th grade me would have been so disappointed because that was not at the top of the list, okay? So I take this advising role. And you guys, I love college and I did love a lot of my experiences. But what I didn't love was perpetuating that pipeline. Because just like in 8th grade, when I looked at psychology, that's what I'm going to do. I, as an advisor, was giving students, here's your prescribed route. Here are 40 majors that you can choose from that may or may not be interesting to you, but they're all going to cost you about, 40 grand, 100 grand, whatever it is these days. And so I'd hand students literal academic plans. And it would say, you have to take this kind of classes, you have to do this well in order, and I was just putting them back on this path. And I have one distinct student, Josh. I don't think he's in this group, but I so remember him. I was talking to him about his major and gave him the list, and he was like, I'm not fitting on any of these. And I was like, well, you can always work your passions around your career, perpetuating the myths that I held at the time. And he asked me, Hannah, what would you be doing what is your dream job? Apparently he could sense I was not in my, dream life at the time. And it didn't take me long to say, well, I'd be helping people figure out what their best life is. Doing the research, finding the best fit. And he's like, yeah, and it wouldn't be on this list. Totally called me out. And I had to agree with him. It's so true. The things that we desire doing, just like I talked about yesterday, the job opportunities are definitely not prescribed to your soul story. Okay. Academic advising was so rigid. And that's why one of the reasons why I left was because I didn't want to continue perpetuating the 8th grade myths, the college myths onto all these new generations of people who have so much potential outside of sociology and outside of biology. So something that's been happening in my business recently is thinking about how can I use my experiences of being an academic advisor, of having eating disorders, of feeling really out of place for a lot of my life, how can I use those experiences to allow others to see their own path? Because I don't believe everyone needs to be a digital nomad or an entrepreneur. And I also don't believe everyone needs to be a psychology major and work for a service-based company or the state or those other prescribed routes. So thinking back to my middle school self and looking at my partner, some of you guys know Mac, my boyfriend, he went to Berkeley. He teaches 7th grade. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we shook up the status quo with middle school curriculum that taught young people, former versions of myself, which many of you probably find with the people you work with, former versions of myself and our future generation to start thinking outside of the box sooner. So that 8th grade Hannah doesn't say, well, I have to do psychology, so I have to get into a really great psychology program in 5-6 years. So let me backtrack and set all these goals just to get into a psychology program, which meant hard classes, which meant being class president, which meant planning prom, right? All these things I lined up thinking that was going to get me to my goal of being a psychologist. Well, over the past year, I am so excited to finally be sharing this with you guys. Mac and I have been implementing middle school curriculum founded on the Dream Life principles that's helping his 7th grade students think not about what is the job that you're going to get, but what are your strengths? What is the legacy you want to leave in the world? How do you want to be remembered? How do you want to be known? What are the types of people you want to be surrounded by? What's the location you want to be living in? And thinking first about the dream life, which is exactly what I encourage all of you to think about and how I help my clients, right? It's we build a dream life, we build a vision, we decide that we have dream life non-negotiables, that we're not going to settle for just working for someone else or for taking those jobs because they're given to us. And if you do, that's because you have decided that it fits your dream life. So Mac and I have been making these lesson plans and helping students think about their core identities, and then what are the principles that they want to, incorporate into their lives. And I'll be sharing more of that with you all. And it's part of the reason why we're becoming digital nomads. So coming back to this whole conversation, we're setting out on a journey to just see what's possible for ourselves. We both have this amazing passion for seeing the world, for breaking free of monotony. And so it's going to be great to be on this adventure for an era of our lives. But we also want to be an example, right? So see what's possible for us, show you guys what's possible, how you can build your life around your dreams, and then also be working to establish programs that young people can be working on their dream life long before they're at quarter life crisis or midlife crisis. So I'm sharing this with all of you, because I know there are pieces of your experience. I know that there are things that you wish you could have done a little bit differently. Not because we have regret, but those what ifs. And my 7th grade history teacher, he always used to say, when we would ask him, well, what if my dog eats my homework? What if we can't get on the computer? And he would say, what if your parents never met? Okay? Well, that's another reality to explore, but what if you thought at a younger age that it was possible to make your dream life your real life? What if you at a younger age understood that food was not an enemy? Some of you have reached out to me, talking to me about your own eating disorders. What if you had more education? What if you had a bigger global perspective on some things? And I want you to think about, maybe you're still trying to identify what your offer is or what your business is. Or maybe your business is up and thriving and you've got more time and energy to start to put into philanthropy or nonprofits or volunteer things. What are those things that not are just your why, but what are the experiences, what are the realities in your life that you can go share with the next generation or the next crop of clients? Right? Mine is related to education. I still have a passion for learning and showing people what's possible. But when I allowed myself to apply all these other videos I've been telling you, when I allowed myself to not be so focused on just one goal, the goal of losing weight or the goal of earning money, and then I was able to step out of convention, that 2nd video I shared with you guys. And I started thinking differently about ways to earn money, ways that my work-life balance could be. And then Tuesday I shared with you guys, when I started to realize that the myths I held, the limiting beliefs about the way the world works, when I let go of a lot of those things, and I keep working through this, because I'm not perfect, but I will tell you that the more that you peel away those layers, those first 3 videos, you then understand that you've got a unique gift, a unique life journey that other people would be so grateful to have. And ultimately, it's your duty to become successful enough to have abundance, financial freedom. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. But to have the freedom and the strength in your own life so that you can share this with other people. And ultimately, this is my vision for the world. It's that each of us are in our zone of genius, incorporating our passions, our experiences, our know-how to help other people unleash their passions and be in their zone of genius. So if you guys are with me, let me know. Someone's saying, I should have started earlier. But you know what? That's part of your journey too. Whoever commented that, hello, thank you for being here. But that's going to be something that you can share with your clients or the next generation or people in your workspace. But you've got to own it. And you've got to work through those first 3 videos that I shared with you. Okay, letting go of that thing that you're so focused on. Thinking outside of the box, letting go of conventional wisdom for just a little bit. And then recognizing what myths you've got about work, about life, about money, about your capability, about leadership. And then realize that you have a unique power to change the world, to leave a legacy, to be remembered for someone who wasn't just skinny or rich or had a nice business that they could do from the beach. But you were out on a mission to leave the world better than you came into it as, or better than it was for you as an 8th grader, okay? And I do want to share a caveat because, like I mentioned, I love college. I am so grateful for all of the educators I've had. It is Teacher Appreciation Week. It is college graduation season. I love educators. They are my family. They are my friends. And I want you to know that you can do even more with that privilege of education, with amazing teachers, with the experiences, good, bad, wonderful, ugly. And you can change the world. So let's do this and make dream life our real life. I'm going to be back tomorrow for one more in-depth training, personal, one-on-one video with you guys. And we're going to talk more about what does it actually mean to have financial freedom. Because that's one of the reasons why we're becoming digital nomads. We have the funds to be able to support that lifestyle. But it doesn't mean we've stopped working. Right? It means we're launching a bigger mission. And I'm going to talk to you guys about how to get financial freedom, what it actually looks like, and why you want to get started. So light people up, live a life on purpose, go make your dream life your real life, because as soon as you do, you allow hundreds of other people to do the same. Talk to you guys tomorrow. And let me know, I want to know, like, what is that one thing, or what is part of your experience that you can be handing to other people to make the world a better place? Please drop in the comments what your thing is. Okay, once you've let go of the first 3 items I talked about, what is the thing that you want to be known for, that you're going to be working towards and on a purposeful mission that is going to change the world? Is that making sense? Do you guys know what I mean? I look forward to hearing what you guys are all up to, what you're thinking. Even if it's not fully formed, drop a comment. And the more that you put out your ideas, the more gravity is created. Okay, I'm gonna go on a little tangent because this is good stuff. Because I want you guys to comment, and I want you to start to talk about what are the things that you can be giving the world that is gonna make a lasting impact. And it's kind of scary to think like, Hannah, I don't know if I can change the world. Yes, you can. And the more that you talk about it and you say, I want to change the world, or I think I've got something that people need, even if you don't know what it is, that is energy. The words we use are energy. And the more you create energy and gravity around those ideas, the stronger they become, the more clear they become. I have so many examples of getting out of your head and just sharing your example or sharing your idea, and how I've talked about this before. Your head is the most foggy place to be. But as soon as you start to put things out, it becomes more clear. And the universe rewards action. So even just sharing on this live video what you might want to dive into, or the topics you're so motivated to be speaking about or coaching about or podcasting about, drop a comment, because I guarantee it's going to bring more clarity for you, and you might find your next collaborator in this group. So let me know. Be awesome. I will see you all tomorrow, and we will put a capstone on our graduation week. It is almost Friday. I will see you then.